brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Hello everybody, welcome along. It is Mornings at the Cabin. It is Thursday morning, it's minus 28 outside. And as I left the house this morning at 6:56, which is cutting it a little fine, I saw the proudest dog in the world, the proudest dog, standing to attention next to its owner as they bent down to pick up a deposit in minus 30.
A deposit?
On a dark Thursday morning. And that dog had the look of, this is the moment I live for, when I get to make them do this on one of the coldest mornings of the year. Good dog.
Oh, it feels every degree of that this morning.
Yeah, chilly, eh?
It is cold.
Yep, I touched the outside of the truck and it was post-apocalyptic in texture.
Did you plug in your vehicle last night?
No, didn't realize this was coming. Yeah, it started. It didn't want to start, but it did.
Ooh,
yeah.
Boy.
No, I had no idea. I did not see this one coming, did not pay any attention to the weather forecast, and, had that annual feeling that I'm sure is familiar to many of you as you drive away, grateful that the truck has started, thinking, now, where is that extension cord? Where have I put that?
Yes.
In some point in April, I said to myself, well, I'll never need this again. I will repurpose this to power something else.
The old snow snake.
And where has it gone? The Arctic snake.
That's the one.
Yep. We love it. Snow snake is an actual sport.
Is it really?
Out the Winter Games. It's like javelin on ice. Yeah,
Oh.
You toss a stick along an icy sort of expanse, and the furthest anyone can get to go in a straight line, you're the winner.
Oh.
That is snow snake.
Well.
Don't plug one of those into the front of your vehicle.
No.
You'll skewer a pedestrian.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
It is almost Christmas. And you know how it's almost Christmas? Because we are just about to perform this year's Santa Claus Parade, which is this Saturday. It's already this Saturday. That's so exciting. Saturday 5 till 7. And, of course, this year it's a reverse parade because the people in the floats are tired and need a rest. So they are going to line the Engel Business District, one of the roads down there, and we are going to drive past them for a change, which is all very exciting. I've never seen one of these pulled off before. Good old COVID-19 forcing ingenuity on the city of Yellowknife. And we will see what the city has this weekend. Now, I do note with some interest that I cannot find any reference to said parade on the city's website this morning. I think I might have to search for it. Yeah, just give me a minute.
Go yellowknife.ca and then you click special events. It should take you pretty much there.
Special events. Can't even find special events.
Or you just go to cabinradio.ca.
You know what? You know what? Well, I'm not even sure if it's on our front page either. But trust me, everybody, it's happening. We're just suppressing it. All right? Mainstream media does not want you to know that there is a Christmas parade happening on Saturday, but we are going to cut through that nonsense.
Yeah, that's right.
Santa Claus coming to town via drive-through parade. That's what I want. Excellent. So 5 till 7 this weekend, and of course, Lecter, what is the most special thing about this year's Santa Claus parade?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
That we're on the FM dial?
Yes!
Oh, okay.
It sure as heck isn't Santa. It's us! We are on the FM dial, so you will be able to listen to 91.1 FM. That is the city's frequency. If you're from the CRTC, it's the city's frequency. It's nothing to do with us. And we will be broadcasting on it at the city's request, nothing to do with us. And we will be putting out a Santa Claus special. So from about 4:45-ish till 7:15-ish to catch you early birds and you latecomers, we're going to have a Christmas special. We'll be playing some Christmas tunes. We'll be chatting away. We'll do a little bit of Christmas trivia. And we'll just generally be having a good old festive time. We will have Brack and Sibs out on location at the parade. I don't know, watching cars go by. It may not be quite as interactive as your average on-location gig, but they'll be out just spotting Santa for you, letting you know what is in store for you if you go. You'll have a few of us in studio having a chat as well. We'll be filming some video at the same time. It is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for this one. I'm excited to see how it looks.
So 91.1. Sorry, I just have to clear something up in my head. You got me thinking, which is always dangerous.
Oh, no.
91.1. Is that like an ongoing standing frequency that the city owns, or is it just like something they're setting up temporarily?
I think it was the nearest one that they could get the transmitter to work on.
Okay. Is there anything on that frequency right now?
Let's hope not, because they are going to get very bored of this. No, this is the frequency that they used for the drive-in movies. This is why you're asking this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the city started using this frequency to deliver the audio when we were doing the drive-in movies with them over the summer, and I think that I'm pretty sure there's nothing on that frequency.
So
and
it's just static right now.
It's just static right now, except it now springs to life every time cabin radio in the city of Yellowknife think to themselves, hey, you know what? We should do a thing.
I was momentarily charmed by the idea that maybe like when there's nothing else going on, no drive-in movie, Christmas parade hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's just like Dave Zathoff just reciting the alphabet.
Yeah, there's just maybe
tune in. Here, Dave.
Yeah.
A, B, C.
That's that's almost
D.
a little sinister. A little sinister.
I'd listen to that.
It starts to feel like a Die Hard villain at that point.
Oh, I bet he's going to get to E next. Sometimes he misses E.
What comes next, Bruce? What comes next? If you don't guess in 7 seconds, this school will go. I don't know if you can tell from that. I may have been watching the Die Hard movies recently.
Wow, yeah, getting right into it.
Super into those. I've actually never seen Beyond Die Hard 1 before.
Me neither. You know what? I actually only watched the first one for the first time last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Die Hard 2 definitely has its charms.
Okay.
Die Hard 3, relatively entertaining as well. I mean,
right.
You reach a point where you have to acknowledge that the likelihood of all of this happening to one man, somewhat slim.
I mean, it's Bruce Willis.
It's Bruce Willis. And you know what? He sells it.
I could believe it.
I like him.
Yeah.
I do like that guy.
I have to think that just even in his normal life right now, he's probably thwarting some kind of terrorist somewhere.
The original Die Hard?
Yeah.
I had no idea about this. Was pretty much the first movie that either Bruce Willis or, why is his name escaping me?
Alan Rickman.
Thank you. Had done.
Who needs Jesse? I can pull out these
exactly.
actor names.
Who needs that walking IMDb? We've got this. Yeah, Alan Rickman hadn't done movies before that.
Really?
He'd done a lot of stage acting, and he was seen in a stage performance by the movie's director, who was like, you know what? That's my guy. That's my guy to play the villain.
Okay, Jesse would have known that, and he would have added a whole bunch of back context. So, yeah, okay. He's still got his face.
So, Alan Rickman's big break was playing the bad guy.
Wow.
In Die Hard.
I did not know
Which
that.
is crazy, because you watch that movie, and it looks for all the world like Alan Rickman is already a star actor.
Yeah,
he just commands the whole thing.
Yeah, he's just been playing a villain for the last, 25 years.
Yeah, it turns out he just naturally is one.
Yeah.
Which apparently was one of the most annoying things you could ever do to Alan Rickman. I was watching a separate chat show thing about him the other day. Apparently, Alan Rickman hated being typecast by people who would come up to him and talk to him about what a great villain he was. And he would defend it. Well, I play characters. I play interesting people.
I'd say it in that sinister voice. I play interesting people. Yeah.
That's very good. That was very good. Exactly. He would say it like that, which of course just makes him sound like a villain.
Yes, of course.
And everybody would go, oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. I'm not doing anything. Yeah.
I'm not performing for you.
Yes, exactly. That was less good, but the first one was great.
Okay.
The first one was great. Learn when to quit, but that first one will live with me for the rest of my days.
Okay,
that was
perfect.
beautiful. Yeah. So Alan Rickman and Bruce Willis had done maybe one or two other movies, both of which had flopped a little bit, and the network was absolutely terrified. The studio was terrified when they put this movie out, to the point where they actually took Bruce Willis off the posters.
Oh, wow.
And used the building that it all takes place in, the big skyscraper,
it's
to
a
sell the
charming
movie.
Building.
They were basically using the building as a character and being like, you're going to want to see what happens in this thing, which is never, as a leading actor, the greatest faith that a studio could place in you.
Also, Bruce Willis had a real reverse traditional Hollywood thing going on. As he lost hair, he gained parts.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he just became a big star. And it's
This guy's much more believable now.
Yeah, totally.
Back when he had hair, we were not buying any of this
can relate
shtick.
with this guy now. He's got a flaw.
Yeah, completely. Because before that, it was just unachievable.
Yeah,
but now
that's
people
right.
could go to see this movie and think, hey, that could be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go for a beer with that guy.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast. Hey, it was early. What do you want from us?
Minus 27, yes, you heard me, outside this morning. Good luck with that. Now to the warmer and more entertaining confines of Bullock's Bistro, because if you check out our homepage or our Facebook page a little bit later on this morning, you will find a little tour of Bullock's available to you from co-owner Joanne Martin, who has given us a tour of the walls, which ordinarily, if you think of most restaurants you've ever been to, and somebody offered you the chance to go on a website and watch a tour of their walls, you would think to yourself, well, that strikes me as one of the less interesting aspects of the restaurant, and I may not watch that video.
Yeah.
But in the case of Bullock's, it's kind of interesting to actually get the people who own the place to pick out the stuff on the walls that they think is the most interesting, because I always spend my time in there scouring the walls, trying to figure out if there's anybody different or anything new here that I've missed.
Right.
And I never know where to start because
No.
it's just millions of pieces of debris from people's lives have been pinned up on the walls in there.
Yeah.
But now you get the inside scoop. Now you get to find out who's in there. Ron McLean. Hockey Day in Canada, they came up.
Uncle Ronnie?
Uncle Ronnie
has
signed the Pepsi cooler. Next time you see the drinks cooler in Bullocks, if you go up and look at the top of it, you will see a message from Ron McLean.
Wow.
On the top there in marker pen.
What did he say?
He didn't say too much. He basically just thanked one of the guys there for all their work, making sure there was always nice fresh fish there.
Didn't write a whole story about someone that he knew from,
No, but there is a whole story about Ron in the video.
Oh,
so
really?
if you go watch the video, there is a Ron McLean tale by Joanne, the co-owner of Bullocks, who said when he came in, it wasn't his first time. He'd been to Young Life before. He'd been to Bullocks before. And apparently he spent the whole evening, telling everyone what they should order. And he was full on.
Like Ron.
He was just like any of us in terms of, you bring family to Bullocks Bistro. You go, well, you're going to want to try that. And you're going to want to have that pan fried because everyone's a fish expert. Once they've been to Bullocks once and they take family, right?
That's right.
You go there, well, they're going to give you 3 types of fish and they're going to give you 3 ways of cooking the fish. And here's what you're going to do. So you're going to deep fry that cod. You're going to pan fry that trout because, I've eaten fish twice in my life now and I'm therefore an expert. and you're going to want to put that sauce on that. Oh, yeah, perfect. So apparently Ron McLean was fully off the deep end doing that.
And, of course, you're going to want to eat that first helping of bread quickly.
Yeah.
Because, you want to get a second helping of bread before your fish comes out.
Yeah, and then good luck finishing the rest of your meal because you are never going to be able to put away a Bullocks Bistro portion once you've had 2 helpings of the bread.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. So it's a great little
mouth's
talk.
Watering now.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, if you haven't had breakfast yet and you're listening to this, fish for breakfast is cool. That's a thing. Why not? Go for it. It is a fun little tour. It's interesting to see. There's a few famous people up on the walls. Jordan Tutu has been on the ceiling.
Nice.
For a very, very long time.
Wait, what? How?
How
did he get up there?
I imagine he either used a ladder or is quite tall.
Oh.
But he assigned...
He's not that tall.
Oh, well, in which case the ladder is probably your leading suspect. He assigned the ceiling, which is complicating the issue for Bullocks because they want to clean the ceiling, but they can't bring themselves to do it. Restaurants have to clean.
Yeah,
you can't just leave ceilings for years on end.
I can't imagine the process of cleaning the ceiling and walls in Bullocks now. What do you take down?
Well, Lionel Richie actually revolutionized the industry because he came up with a fascinating technique, to involve dancing.
Yeah.
And since then, it's been a lot easier than it was previously where you had to dance on the floor.
Right.
And then just scrub upwards.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how you clean the ceiling. I imagine you get a mop and you just get wet. But
well, if you go Lionel Richie's route, I think just cocaine. That's how you do it.
I imagine that sort of presents an uneven and yet quite fantastic cleaning process.
Not recommended. But I mean, in the 80s, it was effective.
Yeah, fair. So is that what that song's about?
I assume.
Sorry, I'm just having a moment of realization.
I just have to. It's a song called Dancing on the Ceiling.
Well, now that you say it like that.
Oh, what a feeling.
Okay.
When we're dancing on the ceiling.
I just thought he was
How else do you obtain that feeling?
Listen, I was 9 when I heard that song the first time. I had a very innocent interpretation.
Oh, they must be in space.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past young Ollie to have reached that conclusion.
Oh.
All right, look. While I'm busy becoming less naive by the moment, let's return to the subject of cleaning restaurant ceilings, can we? Because that was much safer territory for me.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So Jordan Tutu's up there, as is the crew of a United Airlines flight that landed here on 9/11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right?
That's a cool story.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of different stuff. And I also realized, and maybe other people were way ahead of me on this, there is a big photo of a family in the sort of back corner of Bullocks, if you imagine where the front door is.
Right.
And the photo of that family, that's the family that originally owned it. That is Sam Bullock and his family. And I never knew that. So there's a little intro to the original Bullock of Bullock's Bistro, which I didn't even realize that's who it was named for, because I've not been here that long. Wow. So I got a little history lesson as well. So you can go check that out on Gavin Radio website, and it'll be on our Facebook in about an hour's time. And you, too, can learn all about the walls of Bullock's Bistro. My favorite one, I don't know if you've ever spotted someone famous on the walls of Bullock's, Fred Penner's business card was there when I went.
What?
Yep.
Why does he have business cards?
I don't know. He had
Everyone knows who you are, Fred.
His personal email address, and I'll be getting this wrong slightly, but it's probably for the best for privacy reasons. I think it was like fredpenner100@hotmail.com.
Because there's 99 other Fred Penners.
Yeah. I mean, imagine being Fred Penner and having to settle for being the 100th one to sign up for Hotmail. So his little business card was pinned up on the wall. And, of course, he's been to Folk a couple of times, or at least once. Right. So I figure that's when that was from.
Yeah.
But he's my one celebrity pick that I've managed to find on the walls. But now you'll be able to watch the video and find more.
Oh, K-Mac just sent me a song fact about Lionel Richie's dancing on the ceiling.
Okay, go on. we did Die Hard facts earlier this morning. Let's do Lionel Richie facts.
Okay, what do we got here? Not to be confused with this is too much reading.
Okay.
We'll have to come back.
We'll come back to it. Don't worry, everybody. We will bring you Lionel Richie fact right here on Mornings at the Cabin. They're clearly entertaining Lecter over there.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Ollie, Lecter, and Sarah with you. Morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
And we are going to talk a little locomotion of our own right now, because if you'd been watching Frame Lake yesterday around lunchtime, boy, would you have seen some locomotion, or maybe just a commotion, because I went for my first ski on that lake in history. This is my second ski in the last 8 years. And, well, there was one witness. Well, there are a couple of witnesses. There's one witness we can immediately speak to. Sarah, how would you grade yesterday's skiing?
So much better than the first time you went skiing.
Oh, hey.
That's good.
So let's talk about the first time you went skiing.
Must we?
Well, we don't have to, I guess. But that's a better story.
What would you like to observe about the first time that I went skiing?
I don't know. You fell down every few meters, maybe?
Listen, there were at least a few 30, 40 meter stretches where I was like an eagle. Well, I don't know.
Very
I don't know
slow
if that's
eagle.
the best analogy
Eagles
to
can't
make,
ski.
yeah.
No, all right, fine. Well, maybe some people
maybe
can.
it is.
Eddie the Eagle.
Eddie the Eagle
Yeah.
also couldn't ski. So, yeah.
Yes, you were a lot better yesterday than you were the first time you went skiing. You were keeping up to me pretty good. You were
At the
faster, smoother, only fell once.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't even know how that happened. I don't think you were watching at the time.
I saw you getting up.
Yeah.
I kept glancing behind me to see how far behind you were, and at one point you were on the ground.
But
only once.
I honestly, I just found myself on the ground. I was like, I don't even know how I did that. Bearing in mind Frame Lake being a lake, it's a relatively flat place to ski.
Yes.
There are arguably quite few obstacles. The first time I went was, whatever it was, a few days ago at the golf course. There's a little undulation going on there.
Yeah,
There are ways a novice skier can go awry.
Unexpected tee boxes just
Yeah.
getting in your path. Yeah.
You see, for a moment there, I was thinking, what's a tee box? Is that a skiing term? But then I realized, oh, wait, no, he means golf tee boxes.
on the golf course,
I know that one. I'm back on safe term. Yeah,
now
exactly.
they're just random lumps in the middle of your ski track. But,
Right.
Yeah.
See, Frame Lake, you don't really have the same problem. Still, somehow managed to fall once. But you know what? At the end of that second outing, starting to get it. I think I had a little bit of not quite a eureka moment, but a moment in the opening, I don't know, we were only out there for what, 20, 25 minutes? Wasn't that long, because you got phenomenally bored of my badness at skiing quite quickly.
I think you were cold.
I was a little cold, but I also felt, I don't know, at some point you start feeling sorry for the people around you, that they have to witness this and be party to it. So we got like halfway out towards the hospital and then turned around. It wasn't exactly a very long ski, but, baby steps. And so, yeah, it was by the first 10 minutes of it, I was still thinking, I was just terrified. I don't understand this. My brain can't do it. Why am I even out here? I started to think, how will I feel if someone is filming this?
Yes.
Because we went past a couple people.
Right.
But then I thought, what if someone in like one of the downtown office buildings has just like trained their phone on what appears to be a damaged emperor penguin out of Frame Lake? Yeah. How am I going to feel if this, I get back to Facebook and Facebook is just full of, oh my God, have you seen this?
Well, I mean, at worst, it'd be no worse still than your video of you in Mexico.
Yeah. All right, let's not.
Ooh.
That's a low
Let's
blow.
watch that again.
Let's not watch that again. If you don't know about the video in Mexico, then let's keep it that way.
Oh, no. Just search on Facebook, Ollie Williams,
It
Mexico.
can't be a public video, is it?
I don't know.
Well,
I
let's
was
find
able
out.
to. We could.
Do we have to?
Well, we may as well.
All right, listen.
Ollie Williams.
Yeah, I am
Mexico.
absolutely not going to bring up any more about that. Anyway, I decided I'd be cool with it if the skiing.
Oh, yeah,
outing-
there it is.
Really?
It was posted on your page. It was posted on Cabin Radio's page back on November 3rd,
great.
2018.
Is that seriously all it took to find?
That's all it took.
I've done this search before. I know.
Okay. Well, you know what? Anyone out there right now, if you haven't seen it, apparently you just need a Facebook account and just search for my name in Mexico. Listen, at the time, I was somewhat averse to warm locations.
Yes.
I got a little better this summer. I went out a little bit more.
Did you wear shorts?
I exposed a little more flesh.
Whoa.
Yeah, I wore shorts quite a lot of the time.
Wow.
I even occasionally went out on like canoe trips or whatever, didn't even wear a top and would just go swimming and stuff like that.
Well, that's dangerous.
Come on!
As a similarly fair-skinned individual, I hope you lathered up.
Hang on a minute. I did lather up a little bit, but you can't start having to go at me about that and yet still be raising the Mexico video.
I mean, that video is just never going to die.
Okay.
That's
if you're wondering what on earth this Mexico video may be, I just may have been a little more clothed than everyone else at this Mexican resort.
Yes.
That's all.
That's all.
That's all.
Yeah.
Ollie went to Mexico and did not pack shorts.
That was an accident, and it was one that I just did not fix. So I just rolled with it.
Yeah.
And listen, I've got a lot of reasons for that. That was a quite busy week in my life. There was a very big work gig coming up that I needed to do a lot of research for. I had an official role at that wedding that we were all in Mexico for. I was supposed to be filming it. I was very stressed about doing that because I never filmed a wedding before, and it's the kind of thing you don't want to screw up.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot going on in my head.
Yeah.
Needless to say,
That's fair.
all of this manifested itself in a video where everyone else is wearing next to nothing and enjoying themselves blind drunk in a Mexican swimming pool, and I'm standing there drinking some non-alcoholic beverage wearing a shirt and jeans.
Just bopping around.
Just bopping around.
I love that.
Probably
video.
carrying a laptop.
Can we talk more about how bad I am at skiing?
Yeah,
all
sure.
right.
Great. So are we going out again today?
We could. It might be a little chilly.
Yeah.
Oh,
See
yeah?
how much it warms up to by lunch.
We're not. Everyone's looking at me like, oh, bless him.
That's ambition.
Yeah?
I got to hand it to you.
I actually-
If it's minus 20 or warmer, I'll go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got 7 degrees.
I
to warm
brought
up
all my
here.
stuff this morning. I didn't even think about the
I
weather.
love it. You're chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What kind of mitts did you bring this time?
I brought inner mitts and outer gloves this time as well. You see, I was ready. I'm prepared. I am chomping at the bit. I want to conquer this. There are several things in life that I just cannot do. Not even like attempt to do. Skiing is one of them.
Right.
Swimming is another one.
Yes.
Like basically all the sports that are good for you, I can't understand.
Well, swimming in jeans is not recommended.
Oh, all right.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Shout out to the Students Against Drunk Driving who are out by the fire hall this morning. Good work, you guys. I'm sure that was a pretty chilly shift for you guys to be pulling this morning. Well done to everybody who's out there. Please support that cause if you can. Now, we were going to come back to some Lionel Richie facts here. I think we may have been somewhat distracted in the studio in the interim. What I will do, though, so earlier on this morning, we were talking about Lionel Richie dancing on the ceiling. Lecter was trying to ruin my naive impressions of that song. I thought it was just about people having a good time.
Yeah, apparently it is.
And apparently it is, but Lecter was convinced it's about all sorts of dirty, illegal things.
Yeah.
Which but then you actually read the song, and you realize that the lyrics were, or at least could have been written by a moderately intellectual 7-year-old.
Yeah.
The lyrics. Let's just read this. Now, if you sing these lyrics to the song, they sound more entertaining. And believe me, I'm a fan of the song. But when you read the lyrics out loud, I feel like most of you listening were knocking out better poetry in grade school. What is happening here? Something's going on that's not quite clear. Somebody turn on the lights. We're going to have a party. It's starting tonight. Oh, what a feeling when we're dancing on the ceiling. We've done that bit. The room is hot, and that's good. Some of my friends came by from the neighborhood. The people starting to climb the walls. Ooh, it looks like everybody's having a ball. Okay. Everybody starts to lose control when the music is right. If you see somebody hanging around, don't get uptight. The only thing we want to do tonight is go round and round and turn upside down. Come on, let's get down, etc.
I suppose the only drug reference is the person just kind of hanging around.
There's someone hanging around.
Why would you get uptight about that?
Why would you get uptight?
Unless they were dealing drugs.
Interesting. You see, and I'm prepared to buy into your cynicism a little bit, but at the same time, the rest of it doesn't feel structured in such a way as to be making oblique references to the drug trade.
No, not particularly. Other than the dancing on the ceiling part.
Yeah. Well, when you get that
I
feeling.
can't get over that one.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. We've had a lot of discussion of Lionel Richie's inner thought process this morning, probably more than Lionel himself has ever had.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Let's leave that and move on to a more cerebral topic. You have not watched Queen's Gambit yet,
I have
right?
not, no.
Okay. Now, if you at home have, then you are in company with me. I've watched the whole thing. I really enjoyed it. I felt as though it's not the most emotionally deep show in the world out there, but as a drama series about chess goes,
Okay.
it was really cool, and it was really nicely done, and it made watching chess into kind of an enjoyable routine. The show does a really good job. It's about essentially someone who becomes one of the first, if not the first, female chess grandmasters in the world, and it's set like a few decades ago. I think it's mostly set in the 50s, 60s.
Right.
It's a really well put together show. It's beautifully filmed. It's really nicely plotted. It maybe starts to feel, I think there's 7 episodes, it starts to feel at the end like it could have been 5 episodes, and that would have been great. There's maybe a little extra padding in there, but the way they film chess and the way they make chess, A, understandable, and B, dramatic, is an achievement, because chess is often neither of those things. So it's nicely done, and I would recommend that you watch it. It has inspired me to buy a chess set.
Did you know how to play chess previously?
Know how to play chess in that sort of, in the way that like lots of people know how to play Scrabble. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a walking dictionary, but you get the deal. Right? Like, I understand where all the pieces go.
Okay.
I get it.
You understand like how they can move.
Yeah, I know what each piece can do.
Okay.
I am not any good.
Well, you're ahead of me then.
Basically, I'm as good at chess as I am at golf. Right? I get it. I can make the thing happen that is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But many other people are better at making the thing happen.
I mean, I saw you golf this summer, and it wasn't that bad.
Exactly.
So this is kind of,
there you go. I'm not that bad.
Yeah. So you know what you're doing.
I know what to do.
Yeah.
Put it this way, it's no skiing.
Right.
Yes. Now,
Yes.
skiing, I cannot make the thing happen.
Yes.
But chess, I can make the thing happen. Just many people are better at the thing.
Okay.
So yeah, I've got a chess set on order, which I'm really excited about. It's
Very
my little
nice.
Christmas present from me to me.
Aw.
And I suspect I'm like me and 9 million other people right now who've all watched the Queen's Gambit are like, chess! Doesn't chess look exciting now?
Oh, right, chess. That's a thing.
And we're all going to be sorely disappointed when the set arrives and we realize, nope, this is still the same game that it was beforehand. Just like they filmed it really well. And I thought, oh, chess is so cool. And now that chess is in front of me, I realize I have been misled. So, yeah.
You also need an opponent.
I also need an opponent. Now, a couple of people have already volunteered, which is the last thing you want, because anyone who volunteers knows they're going to win. Right? Anyone is like, oh, yeah, I'll play.
Yeah.
It's like the same with golf. Again, if someone says like, "Oh yeah, do you want to come for a round?" You like immediately no, because you're too enthusiastic. There is a reason that you are very happy to be doing this, and it probably isn't because you enjoy losing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I'm a little wary of that, but I thought I might bring it in when it arrives, and we can have a little cabin radio. We'll see if anyone's prepared to.
I feel like Jesse probably knows how to play chess.
I feel like he probably knows how to play chess.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll certainly he might even spend a little time doing some research ahead of time, trying to come up with some ways for like quick checkmates and things like that.
Wheeler versus Ollie.
There is some really fun stuff in the show. I recommend people watch it. It stretches belief a couple of times. The show has these wonderful scenes where there are these massive, like these really big games going on, like the chess equivalent of the Super Bowl. You see like the two people, there's like a Russian comes in from one side and the United States entrant comes in from the other side.
There's always a Russian when it comes to chess.
Of course there is. Yeah. Well, in real life as well. That's fine. That's fair.
Absolutely.
So they sit down and play, and then they cut to these shots of like outside in this frozen Russian city. There are like thousands of people lined up outside, like listening to radio broadcasts that are being pumped out on speakers. And I'm sorry, but I don't think that has ever actually happened. I do not know anywhere in the world where chess, even Russia, where chess has been so popular that people who were unable to get into the venue have remained outside in minus 15 within 300 feet of a loudspeaker so as to be able to hear the game being read out to them from inside the building. If that was me, I would turn to whoever I was with and say, should we just pick up a newspaper tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Yeah.
Then why don't we just go for a meal?
I could see it in Moscow. St. Petersburg? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So there are moments where you think, all right, it's still chess, guys. Don't care how you dress this one up. I do not think people who were locked out of the venue are going to be just listening to the crowd sounds to get a gist of what's happening.
Now, checkers, you just try and temper that crowd roar.
Oh. Love me some checkers. I have no idea how to play checkers. I can do
really?
chess, but
you know chess, but you don't know checkers?
I don't know checkers.
Checkers is infinitely easier.
Well, I can imagine that, but yeah, I never paid any attention to checkers.
That's fair. Yeah.
My favorite thing that I've learned about chess over the last few days, did a bit of research afterwards when I was buying my chess set and everything. Chess, how you write down a chess game is fantastic. So there's a notation that you use to write down all the moves.
Right.
Okay? And it's like 4 or 5 letters. Basically, each square on the board has a letter and a number associated with it, like a battleship's grid, basically.
Right. Yeah.
And you assign pieces to each one.
Yeah.
So you say what the piece is, where it's moving, and whether it took anything. But then at the end of each little 5-letter notation to indicate what moved where, you can also do one of 2 things. You can put a question mark if the move being made is so bad or weird that it requires highlighting.
Huh?
So you can read back a game, and if you see something that says like BXE6 question mark, it means the bishop moved to square E6 and took something, but why would you do that? And I enjoy that there is... Imagine that in the NFL or hockey, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, here's the play.
Yeah.
What a dumb play.
I mean, there's been those plays before.
Right.
Yeah.
But the ability to put question mark,
Yeah.
which signals, what? That's great. On the other hand, if someone does something that is so mind-blowingly brilliant, it's an exclamation point.
Oh, yeah.
And you'd be like, BXE6! Exclamation point!
What a move!
Which, again, in chess notation, you read down the list of what happened and your eye is immediately drawn. It's like, this guy? This is the chess? And if it's so good, double exclamation point, which is, again, a thing. And if it's a genuinely, like, world-beating move that had never been done before, 2 exclamation points at the end will signify that. So there's a guy called Bobby Fischer, whose name people may remember.
I've heard of Bobby
He was a
Fischer.
US chess grandmaster way back 20, 30, 40 years ago. He became a bit of a recluse. It became kind of a tabloid thing in a way.
Yeah, that tracks.
When he was 13, he played against the US Open champion. So the equivalent of, some Swiss 13-year-old playing Roger Federer at tennis.
Right.
And won.
Wow.
And he won. It's called the game of the century because it was that good a game. And this 13-year-old, basically the whole deal in chess is you kind of don't want to lose your queen.
Right.
Right? The queen can move just about anywhere. It's the most powerful piece on the board. Generally speaking, if you lose your queen, you're toast. This 13-year-old left open an ability for his opponent to easily take his queen in order to set up something that 10 moves down the line would mean that the 13-year-old kid won come what may. And like that gets the full double exclamation point.
Can you add a third
down.
Exclamation mark?
If you were gonna, this would be the time.
Holy.
If there's one thing you do today that involves chess, and I realize most people had not woken up today imagining that this would be the thing, go read up on the Game of the Century with Bobby Fischer, and you can watch little videos that show what he did. It's super cool. And there you go. That's my little advert for chess. I'm very excited to get my set in. And we'll have a Wheeler versus Ollie chess. It may turn out to be the most boring video Cabin Radio's ever made. I'm going to try and channel a little Queen's Gambit. We're going to try to make it good.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca and by following the Mornings at the Cabin Facebook page.